And dating is really difficult for most men, especially those who are over 30, because the landscape has changed so much with the rise of Instagram and TikTok and Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and all these other applications that really show women how many options they have these days. So if you want to compete in the dating market, if you want to find an amazing relationship, you have to learn to stand out. You have to learn to present yourself in the most attractive way on these apps. And some people say, well, it's all about authentic communication, of course, on the date. But these apps are really just designed to get her initial interest to want to meet you for a date.
It is evident that dating has become increasingly competitive and unequal. Over the past decades, the percentage of men experiencing a lack of intimacy has tripled, while the percentage of people accepting polygamy has more than doubled. Furthermore, 39% of men themselves acknowledge that dating has become more challenging compared to a decade ago, with only 23% stating that it has become easier. The primary reason cited for this difficulty is, unsurprisingly, technology, followed by increased physical and emotional risks in dating, the impersonal nature of modern dating, and the difficulty in meeting new people. These statistics collectively indicate a trend towards greater inequality in dating. Gone are the days when every man had a fair chance, and instead, we find ourselves in an era where the top 20% of men dominate the dating scene. With this context in mind, the central question of this video is simple. How? How does dating now require being in the top 20% to have options? There are two types of skills: snowballing skills and skills with diminishing returns. Snowballing skills refer to those in which the more you improve, the easier it becomes to make further progress. It's akin to a snowball that grows larger and gains momentum as it accumulates more mass. On the other hand, skills with diminishing returns become harder to advance in as you get better. Finding new progress becomes increasingly challenging. In essence, snowballing skills follow the concept of abundance breeds abundance. Those who possess a certain skill or advantage from the beginning will continue to gain more of it in the future. Conversely, individuals without that initial advantage will struggle to catch up and may even regress over time. On the contrary, skills with diminishing returns offer an opportunity for those who are behind to catch up, as their rate of improvement tends to be faster. When it comes to dating, it is a skill that snowballs in many ways. The individuals commonly referred to as chads, who were already better off in terms of attractiveness or social standing, are likely to experience increasing success in the future. In contrast, individuals perceived as less attractive or lower tier in societal standards may either remain stagnant, make slight improvements without catching up to the chads, or potentially face further setbacks. What distinguishes a skill as either snowballing or having diminishing returns? The key to categorizing skills as either snowballing or having diminishing returns lies in whether improving at the skill leads to more or less practice. If getting better at the skill results in more practice, thereby enabling further improvement, it is considered a snowballing skill. Conversely, if improvement in the skill leads to less practice and fewer opportunities for progress, it falls into the category of diminishing returns. To illustrate this concept, I will provide two examples that exemplify each type of skill. A few years ago, I played rugby, a sport similar to American football, but without protective padding, and where passing can only be done backwards. In rugby, the team is either attacking or defending at any given time. Personally, I wasn't particularly skilled at defending compared to other players on my team. However, defending in rugby is a skill with diminishing returns, which presented an opportunity for me to catch up to more skilled players given enough time. In rugby, when an attacker with the ball is running towards our team, he can choose which defender to target. If we color code the defenders based on their defensive abilities, the attacker will naturally opt to run at me, the weaker defender, as opposed to the excellent defenders next to me. Consequently, over time, and after numerous repetitions, I faced more attackers compared to my teammates. This increased practice allowed me to bridge the gap between my defending abilities and those of my teammates, eventually reaching a point of equilibrium where we were all at the same level. This example highlights how a skill with diminishing returns provides an opportunity for individuals lagging behind to catch up by experiencing more practice and exposure, gradually narrowing the skill gap until reaching parity. That serves as an illustration of inferiority leading to increased practice, thereby resulting in diminishing returns for the skill. Conversely, when we shift our focus to the offensive aspect of rugby, it undoubtedly emerges as a skill that accumulates momentum. Fortunately, this happened to be my stronger suit as I possessed exceptional speed and agility. The nature of this skill's snowball effect allowed me to capitalize even further and establish myself as one of the team's most proficient attackers.
High-value men don't cheat. They exercise options. That's his thing, right?
Tomato.
Wait, hold on. Right?
What the?
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. I know, right? Wait, hold on.
Nah, I wasn't copying your answers, son. I was exercising the options of the answers on the test.
Yeah.
Drawing parallels to dating, it becomes evident that men who are already at the top will continue to widen the gap, further separating them from those at the bottom. In other words, disparities will become increasingly pronounced. That is because of the following reason. Firstly, consider pre-selection. We have all witnessed instances where multiple girls vie for the same guy, with his desirability generating considerable intrigue. Being the subject of such attention signifies pre-selection, indicating that other girls have already deemed him suitable. When other girls find him attractive and express interest, it reinforces his status as a desirable and high-value individual. In contrast, the pool of available men who lack such pre-selection finds themselves at a disadvantage, lacking female interest. Secondly, social proof plays a significant role. Simply by having others validate your social standing, it elevates your status in the eyes of others. Being a popular individual with an extensive circle of friends leads to perceptions of you as a central figure within the group. This subconscious trust instills itself in the minds of individuals even before they have established a personal connection. Conversely, if you lack social proof, it becomes challenging to build credibility. Observers may question your solitary presence, inquire about your friends, or even perceive you as an outsider who exhibits peculiar behavior. While pre-selection and social proof are crucial factors, they overlook a fundamental starting point that often determines one's chances of success: physical appearance. If you possess below-average looks, forging a social circle becomes an arduous task. Similarly, shorter individuals face challenges in garnering respect and being treated on equal footing. Although it is not impossible to overcome these limitations, it undeniably presents a tougher journey. Starting from a disadvantage, you will consistently find yourself trailing behind better-looking, taller men who received a head start in establishing social connections. The crux of the matter lies in the snowball effect. Since some individuals possess an initial edge, they can leverage it to become even more popular, gain greater social proof, and receive additional pre-selection. This leads to my next point, closely tied to dating, which involves escalation experience. For an unattractive individual, even if they happen to find themselves in a fortunate situation where they can escalate with a girl, they often lack the previous experience to increase their chances of success. They may remain oblivious to subtle signals, struggle with body language, or fail to calibrate their tone to match the conversation's dynamics. On the other hand, a more attractive individual who has received ample feedback in their life, most of which has been positive, possesses a wealth of experience to draw upon. Even if they have encountered negative feedback in the past, they benefit from trial and error. They can experiment with different social techniques, phrases, and openers, knowing that even in the face of failure, they will have more opportunities in the future. For instance, consider a simple example of a chat on a dating app. If an individual has 500 matches, they can send various text variations and analyze the response rates and likelihood of securing dates. This optimization process enables them to refine their approach, further increasing their success rate. In contrast, a less attractive individual with only 5 matches would likely opt for a safer, generic message like, "Hey," to all 5 girls. However, this approach pales in comparison to the optimized sequence that the more attractive individual, or Chad, was able to develop through trial and error. In summary, the snowball effect applies to dating, just as it does in rugby. It is evident that disparities in skill levels become more pronounced over time, favoring those who possess initial advantages. This is the reason why the men who decide to go MGT0W will have a huge advantage over those who accept to be blue-pilled by society. Realize this and be careful.